Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Article Reactions. Some of the articles will be informative, some will be shocking, and some may just make you shake your head. We will be starting shortly. Join Char Willie and Classic Ruby for their radio show, Keep the Beat. They broadcast every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CRBJ, Classic R&B Jams. There are discussions of the songs, and that can take you back down memory lane. If you missed the live broadcast, no worries. Replays are uploaded on Mixcloud. So, follow JustAskChar Advice channel on Mixcloud, and you will receive the notification when these broadcasts are uploaded. So, thank you everyone for joining the show. We are about to get started.
All right. What's happening? How are you? What's going on, good people? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time. It is valuable. I always think of that. And I wish I had something to give you. You know, I don't know what it is. I just want to give the people something. And I think a part of that comes from a lot of the rhetoric I hear around the streets. And I'm like, there's so much information that people could use in this particular time. We have a pandemic going on, and a way to save some money, a way to pay your bills, defer your bills. All that stuff is important. And I just don't hear a lot of it. And when I don't have anything to give, it really irritates me. I'm really bothered by it. You know, I can give you the show the articles, I can give you the Friday show and all of that. But it just still seems like something else is missing. I need to give you all something to help your life a little bit better, you know, just a little bit, especially financially. You know, I don't care how much you say you have, you don't have enough. That's just the bottom line. You just do not have enough. And I'm normally a consumer 24/7. That's how I think. Constantly in the consumer chair. So I'm looking for a way to save, cut back, all of that. And today I just don't have anything to give you. It's unfortunate, but I hope I can give you something next week. So with that being said, time to get in a better mood. And what's to get me in a better mood is to have the classic Ruby, everyone. Yes, the classic Ruby. She comes around, it's time to get down.
Yes. Hello, adoring fans. Hello, my public. Hello. I am so happy I could put a smile on your face today, Char. Hello.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really do.
It's always a good time. You know it's going to be a good time. I mean, you know, it's not always happy stories, but overall we have a good time going through what's going on in the world and, you know, giving it to everybody. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you brought because you always bring something. I know you got something up your sleeve this week. You always do.
You think so?
Think so, girl. I know so.
Oh, okay. Well, I really appreciate that. So let's see what we got going on. And I'll go ahead and go first because I have a couple of screenshots for the one particular topic here.
Okay.
And let me try to get all this together. So many windows, just so many windows.
I'm telling you, girl, I'm telling you, you got to minimize before show, right?
Because I'd be wanting to see it. I'm like, okay, I put that there. Okay, remember that tab there. Go in this order here. But it kind of don't work out that way.
Never. I don't practice what I preach. I just preach it because it's true, right? So don't worry, I get you.
Okay, that works for me. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, take my time, take my time. First one, bam.
Mm.
All right, North Carolina, first state to begin voting for president, sees record numbers of requests for absentee ballots. Sounds pretty good to me.
Wow. Okay.
Makes sense. We got a whole pandemic going on. Cases are going up and everything. So makes
Mm-hmm.
sense to me. And this just happened to be the first state to do so. So let's see what's going on.
Right.
All right. In 2 weeks, North Carolina will become the first state to send out ballots for the 2020 general election. The state will initiate the vote by mail process on September 4th, a full 2 months ahead of Election Day, by mailing ballots to eligible voters who have requested absentee ballots in advance. Okay, that seems normal. Yeah, I think so. So it looks like we're on to a good start. All right, so let's see what let's build it up. I got to build it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the next one, since we did so well there. Now this is a little confusing. Republicans are suing to stop people from voting the way Trump did. Hmm. I don't quite understand this. Uh, okay. Let me read into this. It's
Right.
a little
Right.
weird,
Mm-hmm.
strange. Okay. The Republican Party is going to court this year to stop voters from using the same method President Donald Trump and his First Lady, Melania Trump, used this week, casting mail in votes with the help of a designated contact who is authorized to pick up and drop off ballots. Okay. All right.
Right. So.
Okay. Next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where's the next one? Next one. Okay. Ballot harvesters are usually politically motivated third parties, campaign workers, union members, political activists, paid personnel, or volunteers. They go door to door and offer to collect and turn in ballots for voters. Republicans wrote in a lawsuit using the projective, I said it wrong. Yeah, I said it wrong. Pejorative term harvesters for what's typical called ballot collection. The contradiction between how the president submitted his ballot and what his party advocates uh, just mixed. I hate these darn ads. Move!
Mm-hmm.
And all I do is look to the right and then I lose my spot.
Of course.
Okay, okay, shut you up. All right, okay, I got it out the way.
All
The
right.
contradiction between now how the president submitted his ballot and what his party advocates for, to list the ways Trump has twisted his public stance to inflame baseless claims of fraud 3 months before Election Day. All right. Okay, let me go to the next one. Boop. Okay, get you out the way. I'm building it up. I'm building it up, people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm building
I'm
it up.
following you. I got you.
All right, next screen. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. Too many Yahoos. Okay, where are you? Okay, there it is. Boop. All right. Is this a joke? North Carolina voters are being mailed absentee ballots request forms with Trump face on them. Huh. So, I know you don't believe me. So I got to show you. I'm building it up, people. I'm building it up.
Yes.
These same ballots that the Republicans are suing, well, Got Trump face on it.
Hmm.
Coming up. Let me get it for you. I'm building it up. Gotta build it up.
Oh boy.
Bam! There it is. There it is.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Dum 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 dum. There he is.
That is actually wow. It's not just his face. He made sure he got the full shot, right? Like he superimposed words over so you can make sure you see his grand office and his oh my wow. He's Trump is sure something. He's running this presidency like he ran The Apprentice. They're being very serious about that.
I'm like, are you kidding me? No, not kidding you. Okay, I got one more
Hmm.
picture. Give you another view of this ballot that he doesn't like,
Oh
that he
gosh.
used, mind
Right.
you. I mean,
Right.
the story really can just stop right there, but it's ludicrous.
Hmm. Oh boy.
Ain't that
Okay.
something? Securely and safely request your absentee ballot, and
Right.
he all on it.
So, okay. So Trump voted this way, right? Then his people, his party, are now petitioning against being able to vote this way. And then Trump put something out with his face on it going, don't let the Democrats stop you. Vote this way. That, was that about right? Like,
That's about right.
okay, I was just checking because like bro, are you paying attention? It's your party. It's not the Democrats. It's your party. Your party doesn't like this. What did you miss? Like I'm confused. Or I guess maybe they were hoping just because Trump did it that the Democrats would get mad. And when the Democrats stayed silent and said, "No, actually, we think this is a good idea." They went, "Oh no, we can't have that. The advertising won't work." Well, it's okay. You know what? We'll just do it. We'll just do it, and then no one will notice in 6 months that it was actually us and not the Democrats. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Right? Like that's what they do. Like the bunch of oh my god, that's amazing. That's good job,
Wasn't that
Trump.
something? And I had to build it up. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, it started here. Okay, seemed normal. And it just moved on. It's got ridiculous as went on the story. Isn't that
That
something?
it is always something, and they like to pretend like oh it's always the Democrats not making sense, right? They always make sense over there, the Republican Party. Like no, you don't. Stop it. We see you. We see you. You know what? Listen, at the end of the day, if even the controversy alone makes more people actually vote,
Right.
I'm okay with that currently because I feel like if more people vote, y'all will not have the next 4 years of this foolishness, right? Like you already did it for 4 years. You know, y'all were troopers. You hung in there. Okay. Now it's time for a real president and not running your country like it's a game show, right? Like, it's
I don't like how it's going. You're fired.
right. You know? Pretending this is a game of like risk or strategy. Like, you know, at the end of the day, the game ends and then everyone goes, "Oh, we're actually having fun. It's okay. I didn't mean those threats against your country, China." Like, no, this is real life, Trump. It's not a game. No one's playing with you. They're not reality star contestants. Okay, like,
Right. Cut it
oh
out,
my,
dude. Cut it out.
right? This man is the wow. He's so lost that he's made the party lost. Like they're just all just spinning around in circles. Like they put them out of their misery. Just don't vote Republican. Just don't. Okay, guys? Okay.
Save yourselves.
Right?
Please save yourself.
Exactly. Even if you don't want to save them, save yourself. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Lord.
Oh, that was wow. Wow. Yeah. Thank you for that. Because I never would have noticed. Because you know me in politics, we do not go hand in hand, right? For exactly this reason, actually, because it boggles my mind. So I would not have noticed this. So I am so happy you pointed this out because. And you know you're going to have all those Republican or conservative panels, right? And they're going to say this. They're going to go, yeah, see, the Democrats want to stop you. Wait, no, bro, it was your party. The conservatives did this. Like, but they're going to read the thing next to Trump's face and just be like, yeah, it was the Democrats. It was the Democrats the whole time. This is what it says next to Trump's face, man. Like, so, you got to be informed.
Lord have mercy. It's incredible. Just incredible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's for sure. My gosh. My gosh. Okay. So, as we know, we have been following some of the drama over the COVID-19 and the face mask issue.
Yes.
People don't want to wear masks because it's such a big deal. So, one store has actually come up with a unique approach on how it is that they want to deal with patrons who do not want to wear masks. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? So this is, and actually, it's actually pretty interesting. Apparently, it's really been working out. So I'm gonna play the video of this for y'all, and that way you can hear it because they explain it so well, and they've actually got the CEO in there and everything. So let's get this going. All right.
Across the nation, coronavirus cases on the rise, along with scenes like this. In Texas, a woman reacting after being asked to put on a mask. And this man fell after pushing his way past a Walmart employee.
Everybody got on masks, man.
These are scenes they're hoping to avoid at this grocery store in Short Hills, New Jersey. I'm here at King's Food Market where they're taking a really different approach to customers who don't wear masks. With me right now is Judy Spire. She's the CEO. Judy, what happens when a customer comes in and refuses to wear a mask?
Well, this is something that we really thought long and hard about. I didn't want our associates being put in any kind of situation where they had to deal with a customer that was refusing to wear a mask. So we created this packet.
Spire says her employees are asked to remind customers to cover their faces, offering them a mask and this card explaining why. At the bottom, a number that connects directly to her cell phone.
The buck stops here. I want to be responsible, and if there's a problem that needs to be taken care of that could escalate, I don't want to put that on anybody else but myself.
What do you think, Judy, when you see those videos of the mask showdowns in grocery stores, in restaurants?
Oh my gosh, Vicki, it breaks my heart. I mean, it's just a simple thing. It's not Big Brother trying to control us. It's us begging you, please help me keep my people safe so they can be here to serve you.
Are you frustrated that some customers think this is over and they're going back to business as usual?
The numbers are starting to go up. I mean, people, please, don't let your guard down.
King's has also installed plexiglass shields, sanitizer stations, and signs on the aisles and floors reminding shoppers to keep their distance and travel one way to reduce contact. The messages appear to be getting through.
I'm a loyal Kings, and you did a great job.
Thank you. I'm not touching. I'm doing air.
Great one. Great job.
Back in June, with the help of Columbia University, we showed you the effectiveness of wearing masks. I coughed onto Petri dishes wearing 3 different masks and one without any face covering at all. The difference was clear. All 3 masks captured bacteria and droplets that could carry coronavirus from landing on the dishes. Look what happened when I didn't wear a mask.
It's a nice marker to show that, blocking that cough is going to prevent our mouth bacteria from, being transmitted to another person. So there's certainly the potential to reduce transmission of virus.
Back at King's, what happens when a customer refuses to wear a mask because of a medical condition?
Our teams are instructed to also let them know that we have curbside pickup for their next shopping trip or online ordering and get it delivered to them that way.
Gentle reminders.
Yes, gentle reminders.
And it does seem like the approach is working and keeping employees healthy. The CEO says between hand washing, social distancing, and of course wearing those masks, just 5 employees have tested positive for coronavirus since April. That's out of more than 1,000, and not a single viral video on social media.
Right. So, I mean, clearly this woman is on to something. Not only, and for the record, those 5 employees were in April. Since April, she's had 0 employees who have contracted COVID-19. And obviously they've been open the whole time. They have just over 2,000 employees, actually. And literally there was actually a case. So someone who, basically this is what they do. So when you first walk into the store, if you're not wearing a mask, they hand you a packet, okay? And that packet has a mask, a complimentary mask. It has an explanation of why they're requiring you to wear a mask on the premises. And it has a little card in it that says, if you have any questions or concerns at all, call her. And it's literally her number. You are literally calling her. And so, you know, she's received lots of letters and stuff, obviously saying thank you so much and whatever. And she's actually had people who have said, like, no, I'm refusing. And she just had someone who called in and said, no, I think this is ridiculous. And so they had this very long debate about it, and they agreed to disagree about their mask policy itself, as far as like, he's never going to agree they need masks. She's never going to agree they don't. But he's also agreed to wear a mask the next time he comes in to shop. So, that was kind of her point. Her point was like, listen, I think that if we acknowledge the customers, we acknowledge their concerns, we tell them, listen, you have a valid right to your thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and I have a valid right to run my business the way I see fit. And I think that that's fair because it's my business and these are my employees and I need to protect my people the way I see best. And I treat the customer like they are an individual and they are important, that they're going to respond favorably to that. And apparently that's been the case. I mean, she's only really had one really truly irate person who's called through. And even that person by the end of the call has agreed to wear a mask. So seems like her policy is a good policy.
Okay. And that's what she, I get that's what she's aiming at. Because also it'll help you know the person's mindset. And if they just that bad and just going to be a problem, you actually don't have to allow them in your store. Right. I would want to get their name and stuff too. So it'll be a nice way of obtaining a little information without asking for it. So.
Absolutely. If that person decides that they are going to make threats, they're going to do this, that, and the next thing, and they show back up at the store, you have their phone number, which is now tracing to, their location, so on and so forth. So, I mean, it is actually kind of like a CYA thing as well, where it does protect you, but it seems like it's actually the policy, having the policy there itself has prevented her from being in a lot of the situations we keep seeing going viral, where people are literally flipping out, throwing stuff, freaking out, yelling, screaming. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what people are doing over, you can't shop here without a mask. People are dying. Security guards dying over, you have to wear a mask to shop here. So I'm going to offer you a complimentary mask. So if you forgot yours or you can't afford one or you don't believe in them, well, here's one for the 45 minutes you're going to be here. A whole entire packet. I'm going to tell you you're important enough that I'm going to explain myself to you. And then here's my direct phone number, not a number to a whole bunch of lines. You're going to have to wait and blah, blah, blah. And, you can never get it through to a human. Like, this is literally the owner of this whole company gave you their direct cell phone number. That's how important you are. And a lot of customers, I think, being given that level of importance, like I've explained this, I call it the all-powerful white woman syndrome. And this is what they do. I call it that because you always see it with like the middle-aged white woman who expects to always get her way. And so when she goes to you, you don't give her the answer she wants because you explain policy to her. She goes above your head, and then she'll go above that person's head, and then above that person's head. And she will keep on going till she talks to the damn president of the cell phone company, whatever it is, right? So I think they really do this. So, but they need that. They need, even if the president shuts them down, they need to have felt that important for 5 minutes. So she's just cutting to the chase. I'm not going to have you bully and berate and assault my customers, ruin my store and whatever. Here, I'll make you automatically that important. You automatically got to the president. Here you go. Right? Like,
Wow.
Yep. I love that though. I can't even believe she did it. She really gave out a cell phone number. Like, who would think that would be one of the stories? But yeah, I love it. I actually love that idea. I'm sure she got a second cell phone, like this is the store cell phone kind of thing, but still, she did it.
Wow. I like that syndrome you call. That's kind of clever. Very clever.
Thank you. It's from working customer service here in Canada. You learn that it's just what it is. You can hear it. It's a tone of voice. Second, they might not be white. I don't know. It's a particular attitude you hear in someone's voice when they are speaking, and you know it's coming. And you're just like, yep, I could take bets and win. Right? Like,
Okay.
mhm.
Yeah, I know for myself, I will go as far as I need to go if it's the right thing to do. I don't
Right.
harass a store when it's not necessary. And sometimes it takes me there. It has taken me there before. And I'll give you a story before I go on the next article here.
Okay.
I was working for a place and they said if you will give a recommendation and the client joins their company
Mhm.
after 90 days of that person becoming their client, we'll give you I think it was a $75 bonus, I think it was. Might have been more, I don't recall, but I know at least $75.
Mhm.
And they said, after 90 days, we'll give it to you. I'm like, okay. So I filled out everything, gave them the person I was, referring.
Mhm.
90 days went. I'm like, okay, where's that bonus? Oh, you know what? We missed putting you in the system. We'll put you in the system for the next quarter, so you'll get your bonus. So 3 months later, I go to the supervisor. Okay, it's I didn't get my check this quarter. Oh, I don't know what happened because I see it here that I put it in. Let me put it in again. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it might I'm not sure how long it'll take, but I'll update you. So I
Hmm.
did get an update and it was next quarter.
Mhm.
So we got to the 9th month. Okay. And I'm ready to leave this company at this time, at this
Mhm.
particular moment. Um, I didn't get my bonus. No? Wow. I don't know what's going on. Let me look into this. In fact, you sit right here. I'm going to go to the manager. Let me go and do that. Okay.
Mhm.
And I sat there. She went to the manager, spoke to her, and said it was going to, put it in. And sorry about that. I'm like, okay.
Hmm.
So she said, I don't know why. You saw me put it in last time. I said, I saw you put it in the last 2 times.
Mhm.
And, thank you for that. Okay, no problem. So, I'll be looking out for it. I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
So the 1 year anniversary. All right. Where is my bonus?
Mhm.
I'm thinking it's more than $75, but for some reason that number is in my head. So I'm just going to go with $75.
Mhm.
Where is my $75? You didn't get it? Oh my God. I don't know what happened. I can't believe this. Pulled out my folder. Wow, you got your 1 year anniversary and everything. What is
Mhm.
going on? I don't know. I said, but I'm tired now. So
Mhm.
now I need to do something because it doesn't take this long. I
No.
said the matter that it taken this long. The amount of time that it's taken is too much.
Mhm.
I said, but I'm a three strikes you're out type of woman. So this
Right.
is the third strike, and now you're out. So I know what to do. I just need to go above her head.
Mhm.
Don't worry about it. I got you. I went to what's it, the library. I went somewhere. I don't know where it was, and typed up me a nice, beautiful letter. CC'd everybody. Made my copies. Passed it out to everybody. My supervisor, her supervisor, her supervisor. Um, I held the copy for the Department of Labor, and I held the copy for the somebody else. I went. Who did I go to? Someone else. I can't even think of the other person or company. So I wrote, and it was very clear. I had the dates, who I talked to, how many times I filled it out. I had the copies of each time after I didn't get my check. I gave them a copy of the check that it did not have my money on there.
Right.
And then I went on to say, hey, I'm going, if I do not receive my money in 7 days, I'm going to go to the Department of Labor and whoever it was, I don't, Attorney General, I don't know, somebody I said. And that whole office didn't feel the same after that.
Right.
That the spirit in it just did not feel the same. The
Mhm.
air was just kind of it sucked out the room.
Mm.
They like, I think this lady is serious. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
serious. Very serious. So I will tell you that I had my money the end of that week. Let's see, because I gave it to them on a Monday, and I was counting weekends. So they had to that next Monday, and I
Mm.
had my money by that Friday.
Amazing. So every single time you requested, you had to wait till the next quarter. But now all of a sudden it can get done in 7 days. That is what? It must have been a Christmas miracle, right? Like
Yeah, it
7 days.
was. And I'm gonna tell you the excuse that the supervisor gave me said something about the person was in the system, meaning that they had inquired um, about the program. And I even put that in the letter. I'm like, there is
Okay.
nothing because I had the flyer that they were saying if you refer someone, you get the bonus.
Right.
So I had everything. Everything was in their package.
Mhm.
I said, there's nothing here stating that if the person inquires about programs out in the world, and well, I didn't say the world, I said in the city of Chicago, that will disqualify you. They are
Right.
not with your company. I don't know what system you are referring to. And you did not mention that at all in the last 9 months. And it's
Mhm.
not on this flyer that I responded to.
Exactly. Yeah.
And after I got my money, I quit a little bit after that. It wasn't that
Mhm.
long afterward.
I don't blame you. I would have quit the day after. Oh, did my money? All right, cool. Deuces. Let's be real.
Well, it was a second job. It was a part-time job. So I was saving.
Mm,
So it was cool. I got what I needed, got my money, and then I quit.
exactly. Point is, you left because that's ridiculous. Like people who will play with you like that, they're playing with you like that on every level, which means you have to look side eye at anything they say that they're giving you. You know, if they say they're giving you any type of benefits, any type of anything, it all sounds good until it's time for you to collect on it. Then all of a sudden there's going to be issue this and whatever. It's when suddenly everything's a problem. Like you don't want to be with companies that play games like that at all.
Exactly. If it is not in the um, on the flyer, it's not on the contract. Anything you tell me verbally means nothing. Well, see, it
Mm,
has to be a full moon. See, it wasn't a full moon that day that you filled out your paperwork. So, this I don't want to hear any of that. If
right.
it's not on this contract, not on this application,
Mhm.
everything you said is void. I don't want to hear it.
Exactly. Sorry, I don't care. Like, so that's just what comes. I don't care. Not even gonna
Yes.
pretend to. Where's my money? You know what? You know, this reminds me of. I wish I knew this. I would have had it totally set up and ready with the Stewie and Brian from Family Guy. Remember we were talking about that the other day, Shar? Where,
Oh yeah,
yeah, right. Where's my money? Where's my money? You better have my money. It's like
that was
$1,
funny.
right? Like that's. And finally, he's like, okay. And then he just goes to give him the money. Like, he went through so much torture out of some foolishness, pride thing, just because I don't want to pay you. I have the money. I just don't want to give it to you. Like, that's what this reminds me of. You better have my money because I'd be stewing in this situation. Where my money?
Yep, I did it the proper way. There was no violence, so that is
Okay.
the proper way of doing it. Not violence, name calling,
Right. Don't get the
putting
tire iron.
fecal matter on the walls in the
Oh, gosh.
restroom and all that. All that stuff that people do.
Right.
Just do what you need to do and
Mhm.
keep it pushing. It's all right.
Exactly. You don't want to give them basically basis to countersue because then the $75 or $100, whatever it is they owe you, gets taken out of how much you owe them in restitution. So then, like, okay, well, the court proved that I was right. Yeah, but now you owe them $3,000 to fix the vandalism. So did you really win? Like, that's not the way to go. You know, like, I understand the impulse. I do. I understand why it is people have this impulse these days. I understand why it is that people want to fight. I get it, but at the same time recognize that especially in America, it's a very litigious place. Everything's about suing, everything's about the court of law, everything's about civil. So, you know what? Find the way of using the law. You follow all those rules or whatever, and then find a way to use the law to your favor so that way
Right.
you don't lose and you win and you get to punish them the right way where you actually walk away a winner.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have the next article up, which is flashing, but that's Yahoo for you. The picture isn't important, but the headline is Trump's $300 unemployment benefit, a state-by-state guide to when it starts. All right. So on this, to let you guys know, the money is coming out of the FEMA program. So that's where it's going to come from. And because so many people, it's not going to be a long amount of time that you would receive it. They had estimated 5 weeks. Now they're looking at 3 weeks. 3 weeks. That's it. With that being said, you have to qualify for it, which means if you actually receive or can earn $100 a week with your, the way you work, how much you earn, and you qualify for at least a minimum of $100 a week, then you qualify for the $300. Now, the big thing is, when you're going to get this? Well, it's not looking good. It's going to be a long time. A long time. So you're looking at 3 weeks of $300, and you won't get that to possibly the end of September. It could be earlier, but it's looking like the end of September.
So is this so you get $300 unemployment what, monthly, and for how long?
3 weeks. $300 per week. It's
For 3 weeks.
guaranteed for 3 weeks. They initially thought it'll be about 6. Then they estimated 5 weeks because they're counting the amount of money they already have in FEMA, how many people are unemployed, times $300, and that's how they had came up with the weeks. So it started off with 6 weeks, and they're like, no, more like 5 weeks. Now the number is 3 weeks.
So Then why don't they just give you one lump sum payment?
Well, it will be, and the reason I'll tell you why it'll be a one lump sum is because this already approved. Is about time they process it. Is when you're going to get it. It's already over with, so they're going to give it to you in a lump sum.
Right.
And of course, that's if you're still collecting unemployment. You may go back to work. Who knows? The money that you have, if you qualify for that $100, let's say you run out and you have no more benefits. Well, there's nothing for you. So it's a real sticky situation here. But I just want to pretty much tell you, yeah, the $300 in the mail if you qualify. It's not going to be 6 weeks, not going to be 5. They're estimating 3. And there will be one lump sum about time you get it, which they're looking at the end of September.
Like, I don't see why they're calling this unemployment benefits, though. This would be like unemployment benefits are, hey, listen, you're currently unemployed. We understand you can't pay any of your bills. So for a matter of months, it's not going to be one. We're going to help you pay your bills, right? What is, this is one lump sum payment. This is not unemployment. Like, $900? That would be like 1 month of unemployment. That's not unemployment. Like, I don't know. What is that? Like, I don't even, why call it that? Like, stop lying. That's not what it is, right? Like, it's just,
well, that's what they're calling it.
That is insulting. And if you claim this, right, so you were on unemployment, quote unquote, then when you can get real unemployment, they're going to be like, well, you actually recently got the unemployment benefit. You don't qualify for another 2 months because you just had unemployment. No, listen, okay? I don't know. I feel like this is a hustle, okay? I do. I feel like this $900 is some kind of hustle. I don't trust this one. This is ridiculous. There's something off with it. Like,
doesn't smell right, huh?
Yeah, it really doesn't. Like, I understand we're all in a place. Y'all need it. If you need it, you can't always, if you're in a position where sometimes you have to understand that, yeah, you can see this, screwing you in the future, but your immediate needs have to override the future concerns. I get it. So if you're in that place, do it. But I don't know. This just doesn't feel right. It doesn't smell right. It doesn't look right. You know what I mean? I can't even say if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck. Because the thing is, I don't know what kind of duck it is yet, right? I just know that it's not the duck they say it is. That's all I know. No.
It's not quacking?
It ain't quacking. It's not quacking right. It sounds almost like a moo. I don't know. This ain't right. It's not right. That's all I know. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, boy. This COVID thing is just all over the place. It is just, it's putting so much stress. I'm going to say, honestly, I feel like it's putting more stress on the Western world than it is everywhere else, which is an unfortunate thing to say because even our impoverished people, have more than, some underdeveloped countries overall. But I think that's why it's putting so much extra stress on us. Because everything we have costs so much money. Most of us are, living paycheck to paycheck and stuff and whatever. So you shut down everything, and you shut down everyone's ability to pay for all those things that cost so much money. And I mean, everyone across the board, across the whole country, like you're
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we don't have a way to recover from this. The countries don't. What are you going to do? Make everyone homeless? You can't do that. What are you going to do? Make all these people who own these buildings and properties, whatever, lose their land? Can't do that. What are you going to do? Make all these businesses shut down? Can't do that. Because then you're going to bankrupt everyone. So you can't let everyone become bankrupt and homeless. But at the same time, you have no way of fixing the problem. And I think that they're treading water here. And they keep trying to just, it's like when you're cooking spaghetti, you're not sure if it's done, so you throw it at the wall and you hope it sticks. That's what they're doing. Yeah. They don't really have solutions, but they just keep cooking pots of spaghetti and throwing it at the wall, and they're hoping to God some stuff sticks so, they can say they got a meal ready. That's where they're at.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Ruby has spoken. Okay, so So let's talk a little bit about some more negligence in general, because that's what it seems to be the theme so far today. So let's talk a little bit more about some negligence. So in Brazil, we'll talk about some negligent store owners. So right here, y'all, you can see this picture. Yeah, it looks like what? Maybe a display of umbrellas in the middle of the store.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right? You would think so. Maybe it's and you can see that little headline there, that this is capitalism. Well, why would people say that? Because underneath these umbrellas is actually a dead body.
What?
Yes, there is a dead body underneath these umbrellas. This is the beer aisle of their store. Now,
What the?
so a supermarket in Brazil hid a dead worker's body with umbrellas so the store could remain open. Okay?
Huh?
Yes. The victim, identified as 59-year-old sales manager Manuel Moisés Cavalcante, reportedly fell ill while working at the store before dropping dead on the beer aisle.
What?
Okay. So, in a statement, the company said it was following procedure and not moving the body, but admitted it was a mistake to continue serving customers.
What?
It added, first aid was rendered and an ambulance was called, and that management followed guidelines to not remove the body from its place. Now, this did happen 3 hours later, because the store was still open for another 3 hours, and they didn't want to have to stop business, to get this guy medical care. I mean, they said basically he dropped dead. It's not like he was sickly, he wasn't breathing right. He was sick already. He chose not to go home, or they wouldn't let him. We don't know those details yet. And then when he dropped dead. He was dead. So I guess they figured, well, there's not really much an ambulance is going to do anyway. We'll do a little bit of first aid, but man's dead. So why should we lose money? Especially during all this pandemic time and everything. The store closes in a few hours. We're going to do everything right. We won't touch the body or move it at all. Right? So that way they can come in, they can look, they can see the situation, like crime scenes and whatever. You don't touch anything. So we're not going to touch anything. We're going to preserve the scene. See, notice they put boxes around and stuff. They covered the body with umbrellas and whatever. And then just let everyone live for the next 3 hours. And then once business was closed, they did the right thing and called the ambulance and police.
So, okay, so,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is true merch.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vonda. Too much. Wait a minute. So he's an employee.
Yes.
Man passed out, died. You're like, oh, let's keep on going. This is a busy hour. We got that flow of people coming in. This is a hot time, Hey, this is rush hour. We got to serve the customer.
Mm-hmm.
And this is literally, well, not really putting a man on ice, but dang.
Right.
What in the...
Keep in mind, they said, right? So this is their official statement, that the company erred in not closing the store immediately after what happened to await the funeral service, as well as in not finding the correct way to look after the body. It has now said, it has now changed guidelines to ensure mandatory closure should anybody else die in the store in the future. Hold on. So they had no policy about this, okay? They did not break their policy. There was no policy. This was perfectly acceptable behavior. And if this hadn't gone viral and people hadn't acted outraged about how disgusting this movement was, they probably would have continued thinking that this is perfectly acceptable. Now, I want to point out, though, for the record, right? They don't know why this 59-year-old gentleman died. They have no reason, right? So it's not like, I mean, did he die from a heart attack? Did he die from something that's severely contagious and now is killing everyone in the store that continues to shop there? You don't know why he died. It's
Right.
not like you have that foreknowledge. So how dare you? Then you leave a dead, decaying body lying in the middle of the store for 3 hours that could have poisons in it, that could have be releasing some type of deadly virus or bacteria into the population, whatever the case is, for 3 hours over collecting money and exposing children, adults. They said, it says here that they were telling people, don't touch it and everything. Yeah, don't touch the display. Great, because kids aren't jerks and don't go crawling all over the place anyway. You know what I mean? Come on. This is like, this is
It
the
draws
most
so
negligent.
it draws so much attention
Right.
with the umbrellas. But the other thing too, you really don't know if a person is deceased.
Mm-hmm.
They could need some medical help and be revived. You really don't know. So who gave the call and pronounced the person dead?
Right. Right.
11:02. Okay. Bob, yeah, he's dead. We got 3 more hours, and then we'll call cleanup on aisle 5.
Right. So,
Who did that?
And that's the worst part is, by the time the funeral service, which I guess, those are the people who would, like the coroner, right, would come in and confirm he's deceased and whatnot. By the time they got there, okay, he was absolutely dead. But now at this point, I mean, these people might actually be under legal charges later because he might have been alive for 2 of those 3 hours.
Right.
You don't know.
Exactly.
You're not doctors. Like, oh my God, the capitalism and the negligence. It was, and then to cover him, it's so weird because on one side it's like, well, you don't touch the body, you know what I mean? You don't touch the person. You leave them in their position until the authorities come. So they could follow that rule, right? But then to cover them with the umbrellas and be like, it's all right over here. Like, that is amazing. It blew my mind. It blew my mind this happened. Like, I can't believe this really happened somewhere, anywhere. Yes. Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
Good times. Right. Good COVID-19 times. I'm telling you, man. COVID-19 is driving everyone crazy. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Woo. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. On to something sweet here. Mm-hmm. Mike and Ike and hot tamales. Underfilled boxes settlement. Okay. It's that American thing. We like to sue. Hey, what can I say?
Just said that. Right?
Yeah. What can I say? Hey. Mm-hmm. Just Born Incorporated is settling 2 class actions about 2 types of candies, Mike and Ike and hot tamales. The complaints allege that the opaque cardboard boxes in which the candies are packed and underfilled, that is, they contain too much non-functional slack fill, leading consumers to believe that the boxes contain more candy than they did. Okay. You hear that, Vonda? It's too much. Too much. Now, let me tell you about this. This is just totally ridiculous. Because there are so many things that I can complain about. So I can just, grab a pen and pad and just write down the things that I want to complain about and sue and see how it works. Mm-hmm. That is the tubes of lipsticks. I think they cheated me in that. Mm-hmm. They're getting shorter and shorter. Because trust me, when I buy it, I roll it out to see how much in there. And I've noticed a particular brand that I like at the time, they discontinued the color Clinique. As the time go on, I'm getting less and less in that tube of lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
So can I sue? Where's my other lipstick? And what about wine? You know,
Mm-hmm.
what's up with that little hump at the bottom there? You could make that flat and put some more wine in there, but no, you got
Right.
a little hump in there, and that's less wine. Maybe I can
Mm-hmm.
sue them. How about that? You think that'll work?
You know who I think you should be able to sue, and I'm being real about this. I really do. When you have a sealed tube, something like toothpaste, and the way that they make the packaging literally makes it impossible for you to get out some of the product. So they give you 50 grams or whatever of this product, but you can't use 10 grams of it because of the way that they make it. They, like you said, they curve the top shell thing, and then you push in, so you always end up getting screwed for that last little bit. I think that's a suable offense, but I think that it's not everyone's fault, including this company, that y'all are too basic to realize that just because a box is big doesn't mean you can ignore all of the writing on the package. Did they lie by how many grams they said that package was? If they said there's 30 grams of hot tamales in there, and there's actually 30 grams of hot tamales,
Mm-hmm.
then they did their job. That's what they're supposed to do. They told you what was in. It's kind of like a bag of chips, right? Like, if you look at the bag of chips is huge. I am
Yeah.
a bag of chips connoisseur, and I know that they never fill those bags more than 50% of the way. Never, okay? Never.
Right.
That giant bag is only 50% of what it looks like. Now, I've come up with all kinds of rationales, not the least of which is because they're messing with you, right? Because they know you look at the bag, you see this really big bag, your mind lies to you and tells you the bag is full. You're going to ignore all of your common sense factors and buy it because you think it's super full, right? But another part has to do with the chips crushing. Like when there's a whole bunch of
Right.
space for them to move around, they're not going to turn into little tiny granules as easily. Either way, as long as the chip company says there's 200 grams of chips in here, and there's 200 grams of chips in here, I don't see how it's a suable offense. Like, you're an idiot. We've been buying these boxes of hot tamales and Mike and Ike's forever. We know the box isn't full. It's never been full. The box of Smarties, not full. It's never been full. That's a suable offense. Now, did they lie to you and not sell you 30 grams? That's what I want to know. Did they weigh the stuff and they said, listen, that box was 25 grams. I only got 5 grams of Smarties. Then to me, you have a case. But if you're just going to be like, well, it wasn't full enough to me, and I don't think that was fair, because, no, you can't do that. I'm sorry. No, this is ridiculous. Like, really? Over candy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That cardboard box, it was non-functional.
like it's candy.
It was misleading the consumers.
Okay. Did they really win? They won this? Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah. Oh, they won. Let me tell you,
You're
girl.
kidding me.
They won.
America is amazing. Y'all could sue anybody for anything and win. This is amazing. This proves it. Y'all could sue anyone for anything and win. Like, this is America.
Oh yeah. Oh, we get down over here, girl. We get down. Now I put the link in there in case you want to join the lawsuit. It's up to you. But what you get is if you have your receipt, you get 50 cents per box, up to 8 boxes. Yes, everyone. Whopping 50 cents if you have your receipt.
$4. Oh, $4
Now, if you-
maximum.
Oh yeah. This lawsuit is serious. What you talking about?
Yo,
It's-
that will only get me one way somewhere on a bus, like a public transportation bus. $4.
Girl. This is money here. What you talking about?
COVID-19 times are hard. Every little penny helps. Oh my God, this is.
Yeah. Now, for you people that don't have a receipt, oh, don't worry. You can get something too. You join in on lawsuit, For every 2 boxes, they're going to give you a free box. A free box. If you say you bought 4, they're going to give you 2 boxes free. A voucher for 2 boxes free, everyone. Oh yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you got a choice. If you got the receipt, you get 50 cents per box up to 8 boxes. If you don't have a receipt, you get a box for every 2 you claim that you bought. Oh yeah.
This is like a gullibility tax. That's what happened, right? Like I can now sue companies for me being naive and gullible and win and get a small tax on that, right? Like that's what it is. This is amazing. I can't even believe this.
Oh yeah, you get all that. Now, see what I thought about when I saw this, I think, I really do think it's ridiculous. However, I said, well, let me join the ridiculous, line here. And I wrote down a couple of things, which I mentioned: the lipstick. I mentioned the wine. You mentioned the potato chips. I had that on my list. But what about, because I remember this when I was a younger girl, there used to be 10 hot dogs in a pack. I remember my parents buying a package of hot dogs, and there were 10 in there. I remember that. But now they have 8 in there to match those 8 hot dog buns. So maybe I can sue them, just multiply how many packages of hot dogs I think from, I don't know, 75 or up to 85, maybe. I can multiply it and get 50 cents a franc, and get me a lawsuit going. I don't know. But that's how wild it is.
I can't even believe this. That is amazing. That honestly, people are amazing. That's what I have to say about this. Like, people are incredible. Like, y'all are too much, okay? Y'all are too much. Say
it right now, too much.
Too much.
Say. I put up there on the screen, too much.
Oh my god. It's so funny because they make jokes about it in movies and stuff, right? And like, okay, so to give y'all a little perspective, right? So if you don't live in America, right, you still have idea about what America's like. And one thing is, like, we think it's amazing how much Americans sue other Americans and companies for every little thing. And movies make little references to it all the time, right? Like, people will intentionally pour their own water on a floor in a grocery store and then slip and fall on it so that way they can like sue the store, and the store knows it's a nuisance claim, but they'll still pay you off $1,000 just for you to go away, right? So it's like ever since the chick with the coffee, right? And now they had to write caution, contents hot on all coffee cups because and I'm going to be fair with that case. Because as funny as it is, right, to be like, you didn't know coffee was hot? You thought black coffee was coming cool? Like, I'm confused. Where have you been? But in the case of what happened to this girl, there clearly was an issue. Because I mean, this burned through down past her regular skin level. Like, it ate through to like the fat and stuff. It was crazy. It was overheated water. So there was a problem in that situation, but everyone's take on that was like, wow, you spilled a little hot coffee on your leg and now you won billions. And so we can just sue for everything, right? Anything and everything. And that became the attitude. And now everyone really is. Now you can sue people because you're gullible and win. That is incredible. That's it. Like, that's it. I have no more words.
Well, only words we have is too much. Just too much.
That's it. That's it. Other than COVID-19, some other stuff been going on in China. And so I'm going to show one thing that happened in China here. Interesting thing. So there was a giant sinkhole recently. I don't know if y'all have heard about the sinkhole. I always found the idea of sinkholes horrifying that you could just be walking down a sidewalk and think everything's normal, and suddenly the earth just opens up and swallows you, right? Like it sounds like something that shouldn't be able to be real, but it absolutely is a real thing that happens if you haven't been near one. And so one just recently opened in China on Wednesday, and it swallowed 21 cars. This is in southern China. So interestingly enough, because there was already there was video surveillance of the parking lot. And so because there was video surveillance of the parking lot, they literally have camera footage of the entire event happening. So,
Wow.
right? And since we never really get to see that, I thought, oh, this will be cool. Let's share this, show y'all a little something here. It's not really sound, so I'm going to turn the sound off on this because it's just that annoying elevator music. But
Okay.
let's take a look here and just watch. So you can watch the parking lot here. And look at that. Look at the trees. It's just, there you go. Gone.
Wow.
Gone. Just like, what? Like, everything looked normal. Nothing was, just,
La da da.
Yeah.
Geronimo. Wow, that is something else.
right?
It was there and just started moving and just disappeared.
Just collapsed. Like, that's terrifying. It was solid and it's gone now, right? And so
Wow.
apparently they've been under torrential rain. So people are thinking there might be an association there. And so now the giant sinkhole is a giant pool, basically. So,
Wow.
yeah, right? But isn't that crazy? Let's just look again a little bit, because I just thought that was amazing. Like, it looks normal. It's a normal place. You just exist there, and then just like, how? I find that crazy. Like, people walked on that just the other day. That day, people were walking around on it. They drove their cars on it. Everything felt fine. Now, they're saying that all of the earth around the sinkhole is fine. So they're saying there's no risk to the buildings around the sinkhole, the highway that's right there. All the rest of it is stable and fine and should hold up. But, I don't know how much I trust that, on account of the fact that they also thought that the parking lot was fine and wouldn't collapse if you parked your car there overnight. So,
Gee.
yeah. So that's what's happening in China. First you got COVID-19. Thanks, guys. Now you guys got sinkholes. Like, what is going on over there, y'all?
Okay.
Damn.
Gee.
Luckily, no casualties though. It was overnight. There were no casualties. It was relatively, you can see it's contained to a relatively small area. It didn't damage any of the businesses, or, like I said, the highway right next to it really did only affect the parking lot. So that's a good thing. But my God, terrifying. Like, I am going to have nightmares, because that is a huge nightmare of mine. I've always been so scared of walking down a sidewalk one day, and then you kind of feel like a rumbling, and you're like, oh, is that an earthquake? And then there's just no more sidewalk. That's it.
Right. Yeah. That is scary.
Right? Damn.
Woo.
That was it. I know that they had, right now, just in general, because of all of the flooding and everything else going on because of the torrential rain, they have been evacuating people.
Okay.
And, there's about $25 billion worth of damage just from the flooding. And then, if they get a couple of these sinkhole things, trying to repair that sinkhole is going to be, I don't know, astronomical. They haven't evaluated how much it's going to be to fix it yet, but it's going to be astronomical for sure. So they're under a lot of pressure. Think about how much pressure we're under because COVID-19 shut down our planet for a little bit.
Yeah.
You can imagine how much pressure you're under when that happens, and then you've got the flooding, which is billions and billions, and then you've got a sinkhole now, which is billions and billions. Like, oh my God, the pressure of that all. Oh, just crazy, crazy, crazy. Mother Nature is not happy with us, y'all.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gee. Okay, that's my last one here. Really not much of a story. I just was going to mention a few things here. This happened a couple of weeks ago. 5 o'clock in the morning. I knew something was had happened. I didn't know what. I know it seemed like it was really strange that Monday. Um, I even seen, well, I didn't see the object flying, but I actually seen the chemtrail. But it was really weird that day. It was really weird. So
Hmm.
this happened a couple of Sundays ago. Well, you could say Monday because again, it was 5 in the morning, and people were out having a good time on a magnificent mile, and they're taking some pictures here, and they want people to identify the people. Not me personally. If I knew these people, I would not. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to get involved with that. One reason is a lot of times the police can be out there, and I figured if you didn't arrest them, then I'm not saying anything when it comes down to this. Now, not quite sure about the top right. I was trying to figure out, is that a woman or a man in a hijab? I'm still a little confused on that with the red sack. I'm like, maybe they're playing Santa Claus. I'm not sure. But they were going to shop. They're going to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the top second guy, he was ready. He had his Sephora basket going on. He was going to go shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had to make sure he, picked the right nail color and
Oh yeah.
the right shade for foundation, but he was ready.
Mm-hmm. What
He was
in the
ready.
world? Well, he's wearing like spandex shorts, so I think he really was.
Oh yeah, he was ready. I'm not sure what that red thing at the bottom is on his head. I'm a little confused. It was real nice outside, and not quite sure why he has that on his head. Um, yeah,
You know what
not
it looks like? It kind of looks like a ski mask, right?
well.
But like
It was very
orange.
hot outside, so that's why I'm like, what is that? But
Mm-hmm.
it could be. It could be. But that's very interesting. His choice there. That he chose to, and his pants. Poor thing, he's losing his pants there. We can identify his
Yeah, he
underwear as
is.
Calvin Klein, white size small. We can recognize that, but that's the only thing I'm going to identify on that.
Mm-hmm.
At first, bottom second lady, I thought she was. At first, I thought that was Martin Luther King on her shirt, but I looked closer and realized that was George Floyd. And
Mm.
I'm like, okay, yeah, lady, I'm not quite sure um, your choice of wardrobe for what you're doing, but
Right.
okay, all
Mm-hmm.
right.
Right.
But if you see that glass is thick, you may not be able to really see it in the picture, but those stores downtown, they get a lot of wind. I mean, a lot of wind.
Mm.
So their glass is thick. So I'm not sure what type of tool people used. I
Right.
heard people had some bricks, but they had to have more than just that because that is for them to get through that glass. I don't know, but everything is still boarded up. I went to downtown yesterday. Most of that stuff is
Mm-hmm.
still boarded up. A lot of the stores are not open. Some has signs up saying, "Just go to our other location. We're not opening up back here. We're just not going to
Oh wow.
get
Hmm.
closer into the city. We're not going to open this up." So I just found
Oh
that
wow.
interesting that they requesting for people to be identified today.
They're probably looking not as much for the looters as the person who caused the initial, I guess, access, you could say, right? Because there's a difference between, because you don't know, like, because the first thing I wondered, like, hey, are these people working together? They all seem really prepared for this to have happened, like they knew it was going to happen. So, were you working together? Do you know the person who initially broke through the glass and then invited y'all? Like, what's going on? So I think they're trying to find really the culprit, the main culprit, And so you
Yeah.
find these people who were the looters, and these looters, maybe they were first on scene or whatever the case is, but I think they're trying to catch them to get the bigger fish. So,
Not gonna happen, but I get it.
mm-mm. Oh yeah,
Not
no,
gonna happen.
100% not going to happen. I mean, you might get someone to identify the blonde woman just because she doesn't have a mask on her face, and she looks almost unaware. She might identify herself. Honestly, I don't know, because everyone else had a mask on. Everyone else had their face covered, like they were really trying to mask their identity, and she, like, I could see her, like you could bump into her on the street and know who she is. So I don't know. I think it's interesting that if you're the type of person who would wear a polka dot hijab, like I don't feel like that's like a super popular thing to do. So maybe you shouldn't wear the polka dot hijab when you're gonna go shoplifting, basically. Like I just feel like it just makes you stand out in an extra way, so that people will notice that and notice you. And even when they're asking people to identify, they're not asking like friends and family and stuff, right? They're asking randoms. They're asking
Yeah.
randoms to spot you, right? And people do it. Like I know for sure, again, friends and family aren't going to do it, but a lot of crimes, I've been watching this show called Forensic Files. And
Mm-hmm.
so when they're really stumped on someone, they put it on TV or whatever and say, hey, if you know this person who's a person of interest in this crime, right? And it's always some random person who doesn't know them, who spotted them across the street at some restaurant or something, right? Like it's never a friend. And that's why I said, like, if you have something that really separates you from the crowd, like a polka dot hijab, maybe just wear a regular black one. You know what I mean? Just for
Yeah.
the theft part of your day, and as you said, only this the fact that this chick chose to wear a George Floyd t-shirt
Yeah.
to go looting is so disrespectful. Like, just
Yeah.
ew. You're not looting in the name of George Floyd or in Black Lives Matter or in Black Power. And if that's what you told yourself, then that tells you just how lost the movement really is. Like, that's crazy.
I agree with you.
Well, final story.
All right.
Is so now on occasion, you'll see like either it'll be a commercial or it'll be like a some type of PSA or something, and it will be a PSA of someone saying, oh, please, let's stop using guns, or stuff like that. So I'm going to show you one of those, actually,
Okay.
and show you that, and then I'm going to tell you the story. Okay.
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 Heavenly Father, can you please listen to me? Because I am so scared.
Today, the grim tally is in. 50 people shot this weekend, 3 of them children. 3 adults were killed. Tonight, our Ron Mott takes us onto the streets with those trying to end the bloodshed.
God, no one else is fixing Chicago. So I'm asking you, can you please fix Chicago? God, I just want to go outside and play, like a 7-year-old's supposed to do. I don't want to die. God, do you ever come to Chicago? Do you see how bad it is? God, can you please heal our city? I get all A's in school. I'm really good. So can you do this for me, please? They won't stop shooting. They won't stop killing. They won't stop it. God, can you make it better? Please.
Oh, that was
Oh,
so
that was so
sweet.
sweet.
Right? What a remarkably touching and chilling video. Now I'm gonna. It's such a sad story. So that little girl
Oh,
is just touching. She's gorgeous. She's, you know, it really makes you hear her. And she was just recently killed in a drive-by. So,
wow.
yeah, unfortunate. Now she's actually from Wisconsin. Her name is Anissa Scott, and she was traveling in a car that became involved in a shootout in Madison on Tuesday morning and was struck in the crossfire. So,
Mm.
so police say the driver of her vehicle was the intended target. The child knew the driver but was not related to him. Madison PD said East Washington Avenue was sprayed with bullets, hitting homes and cars, with one bullet striking the little girl in the head. She was rushed to hospital and placed in a medically induced coma, but life support was switched off on Thursday, making her Madison's 10th homicide victim this year. Right? And so,
Oh,
you know, in 2016, she was 7 years old at the time, and appeared in the video made by local filmmaker Raphael Ragland, her half sister's father, begging God to stop gun violence in Chicago. You think about that, you know, clearly the gun violence issue, not just in Chicago, um, you know, it's devastating that she could be in such a touching video, you know, and then to be killed by the exact same violence that she was praying about in this video. You know, please stop the violence. I'm just a kid. I just want to be able to play. I just want to be able to live. I just want to be able to grow up.
right.
Uh, and then, you know, nope, that's it. And the worst part is, now you listen to who's been arrested so far. So two teenagers were arrested in connection with the murder: 16-year-old Andre P. Brown and 19-year-old Perion R. Carrion. So Carrion was driving a stolen car and had a loaded handgun in his waistband when he was apprehended. And the 16-year-old Brown is going to be tried as an adult due to the severity of the crime. And no one has said so far if either team was the driver of Anissa's car. So no one actually knows right now more details than that. But to think
Ah,
that we lost an 11-year-old child, a 16-year-old child has now been involved in this, going to jail for life. So there's another child gone. 19-year-old really boy, he barely became a man. He's going to jail for life after killing a child. Like,
yeah.
the you know, it's and I know that this is not the only time that this has happened. You know, I get it, but it's just so tragic to see so many lives just wasted, just thrown away, just wasted, just gone. And you know, it just brings so much extra significance to the video that she did, to me, because you know, I just feel it so much more, because it's so eerie that she could be saying all these words inside that video. uh so, and you could actually hear she probably really took those words in. They really taught her what the script was and what it meant, and she really felt it, you know. And to hear her and to know basically, like, just a few years later, that was it. It's so sad.
It is. I like, just a sweet little girl, innocent prayer, not for just herself, but for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
straight from the heart. And
Right.
it's going to be interesting to hear the rest of the details
Mm-hmm.
about this, because a lot of times when you hear about crime, it normally isn't directed, when stuff happens, it's not directed at the person that's hurt. It's
Right.
always the innocent bystander that gets it. The target um, either gets injured, but normally not killed. And if
Exactly.
the target is killed, then no one is apprehended. That's normally how the story goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to hear more about this. I hope they can give more details. I am interested. I really would like to know.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, you know, and again, not to say I haven't also even just been involved with people who are in the life and whatever. So like I remember, for example, having my cousin in my car. This is a cousin I showed that had the manhunt after him here. And but it was like a long time ago, like maybe 10 years ago. And I wanted to go to my grandmother's house for something, and like he literally hid in the car, but he wasn't hiding for him. He was hiding for me, because if people in this area wanted him dead. So if they saw him, they might shoot after him, and I'm in the car, and there's a good chance I'm the one who's going to get hit. But they're also going to track my car and my license plate and come looking for him at my plate at my house, right? They're going to follow my car, even though he doesn't live with me. They don't know that. They're trying to get at him. So whatever way they can. And so,
Yeah.
it's a terrifying thing, but I got to say that, my cousin had that foresight, I guess, almost to think that way. I don't understand how you're not related to her. So I have no idea why she was in this car, and I can't wait to hear more of those details. But why are we, if you're in this kind of life and you've got that kind of heat on you, and you're that kind of risk, being in your presence is that kind of risk, why would you be driving around with small children? Like,
Well, I'll answer that question with a question. Why do people on social media talk a whole lot of stuff that they are, but they're not? So there you go.
True.
Yeah.
So, well, I put a pin on this one. When we get more details, I will update you, let you know what's going on with this one, because I really do want to know. Just again, we don't have more details than what I just gave. So, once we get more details in, I will give an update on this one as well. Got a couple updates coming.
All right. Cool beans.
All right.
Well, with that, I want to thank everyone for coming and sharing your time. If your thumbs up isn't blue, could you hit it to make it blue before you go? That like button, I appreciate it. People always say like, share, and subscribe. Do that. I appreciate it. And again, thank you so much for your time. Hope I'll be able to share more with you next time. Increase your life and your wealth, even your health. And until next time, peace.
Cheers, y'all.